Ah, shit. Here we go again.
In prison, you really don't know what somebody is locked up for unless they show you their paperwork, or you get on the phone and you call your people and give the dude name, his birthday, and have them look him up, or a guard might tell you what a dude is in there for, whatever, right? Now, 99% of the time, if you go any route of the ones I just described, 99% of the time you're going to get the right person. But there's that one small percent chance that you might get the person name and everything, and it's actually 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 other guys with that same name, right? And they could have some crazy charges, like bad charges, but it's not the guy. But in this case, it was the guy. So we in the bullpen. Now let me give y'all the rundown of how jail worked. This is not a prison story right here. This is a county jail story. Okay. This is the story when I found out that the OG in my hood had bad charges, and what we did to him when we found out that he had bad charges. So we're in the bullpen, and normally you be in the bullpen for maybe, you could be in there for 5 or 6 hours, or you might be in there for a week. Now, I was in there for a week because I was not. Now, this is a different story. The longest that I ever been in the bullpen was a week when I was waiting to get extradited, right? They say I was a fugitive of justice, right? But anyway, but no, this particular time, I was only in the county jail for about 2 weeks. So I'm in the bullpen and they call my name or whatever, and they call a couple other guys. So we went straight to the floor. We went to the 5th floor. Now the 5th floor is for the older guys, you know, dudes like in their early 40s to like 70 years old. Now at this time I want to say 24, 25, something like that. I don't know why they had me up there, but I guess it wasn't no room for the gladiator tanks or whatever, and that's like the youngins or whatever. So they had me go on the 5th floor, right? So I'm there, boom, bam. Now, they put me in the cell with my OG, right, from my neighborhood. Now, let me tell y'all about OG, and I'm going to put his name out there too, because when I do these videos, I'm actually spreading awareness, all right? This dude, if y'all recognize him in the thumbnail, this is the guy. This was, you know, an older guy from my neighborhood that was selling drugs and just being an old dude in the neighborhood, right? That grew up there for years. Now, I'm going to tell y'all what he told me, what he was in there for, and I'm going to tell y'all what he was really in there for, right? So anyway, I get in the cell with him. I'm like, blockhead? He was like, oh, what's up? What's up, little homie? What's up, Donta, yeah, Donta, what's up, little homie? Now, my OG from the hood name was Blockhead, right? Because dude just had like this, when he had this bald head, his head like a block, right? So everybody just called him Blockhead. You know, he's so dope, all that, you know, whatever. So I'm like, what's up, OG? I'm like, man, what you doing in here, man? He was like, man, I got caught up on some bullshit. You already know, man. I done sold to a dope fiend. The dope fiend done told on me, and they done set a play up on me. I done sold to an undercover, man. You can believe that? I said, what? He was like, yeah, I sold to an undercover cop, man, and shit, they threw my ass up in here, man. I'm finna go on up the road, though. I said, no kidding. He was like, yeah, man, shoot, yeah, I'm just waiting to get transferred, man, waiting for that bus to come. I'm like, man, how long you been up in here? He was like, shit, I've been here for what, about 2 months now. I said, oh, okay. I said, how much time did they give you? He said, man, they gave me a 4-piece. Oh, I said, okay, so you'll be out in 2. He was like, yeah, something like that. I'll be eligible for parole in 2 years, so I ain't really tripping. I said, all right, man. So now listen, y'all. When he told me that he was in here for drugs, I didn't second guess it at all. Because I knew that's what he was doing out there in the streets. So when he said, he was in here for drugs, I'm like, I didn't second guess it. So we gonna say this was a Wednesday. So he got 6 days till the prison bus come to pick up inmates and take them to the process center in Jackson, Michigan or whatever. So me and him kicking it for like 3 days. The regular jails. We eating meals together, walking the little track together, just kicking it. Yeah, ain't nothing to it, right? So one day we was getting ready to go to sleep, right? And he asked me a question that was really odd. So he was like, hey man, you watched that show Steve Wicko? I said, yeah, why? He was like, man, you think that they be them lie detector tests be real or fake, or do you think like Steve them be rigging it to get like ratings or whatever? I was like, I don't think so. I mean, especially them guys that be failing their tests for raping somebody or touching somebody's kids. Nah, hell no. I don't think they play with people's lives like that. He was like, yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because I thought about going on that show to clear my name. Now, when he said that, I'm sitting here like, because I'm under the impression that he's still talking about his drug case. So I said, but didn't you do it though? And he was like, man, hell no, I ain't do that. Hell no. So I sit up, because I was laying down at first. I sit up, I'm like, I thought you said you did. He said, no, man, I ain't touched that little girl. Hell no. So I said, oh, gee. I said, blockhead, you told me that you was in here for drugs. He was like, oh, I mean, yeah, I am. And then he was like, hey, man, I'm holler at you tomorrow, man. I'm finna go to bed. So I'm thinking to myself, like, wait a minute. Dude just, and OG, like, 62, 63 years old, he getting up there. So I'm thinking to myself, like, is he in here for bad charges? I mean, why would he ask me that and then say all that? I'm like, nah, something ain't right. I'm gonna have to get on the phone with my folks tomorrow or whatever, right? So all that night, I'm tossing and turning, because I'm like, damn, did Blockhead really touch somebody? He told me he touched that little girl. So, they pop the doors. At 8 o'clock, we get out, stand out for count and all that, whatever. So about 10 o'clock, they cut the phones on. So I instantly get on the jack, right? So I call one of my homeboys, and I'm telling him, like, listen, man, look up, OG name and, on Otis, and let me know, like, what he in here for, right? So he like, all right, bet, hold on, give me a minute. Right, and he was like, hold on, let me call you back. I said, nigga, how you gonna call me back, man? You can't call it here. He was like, but just call me back in about 30 minutes. I said, all right, man, I got you. Right, now, OG is still in the cell, y'all. He's still in the cell. I don't know what he in there doing, but he's still in the cell. So I wait for about an hour and a half, get on the phone, call the homie. He don't answer, of course. So I waited another 20, 30 minutes. Then I get back on the phone and I call him again. He said, Donta, you in there with OG like right now? I said, yeah, why, what's up? He said, you in there with Blockhead? I said, yeah. He said, Donta, what do you think what did he say he was in there for? I said, he said that he got busted for selling dope to an undercover cop. Some fiends set him up. He was like, D, man, he ain't in there for that, man. That dude is a whole chomo. I said, what? He said, yeah, man. This dude got all type of sex crimes against him. I said, get the fuck out of here. He said, man, dude, it's so much. He got to reading off all his charges, y'all. And due to YouTube laws and regulation and guidelines, I can't even read these charges off to y'all because it's 27 counts of bad charges. 27 counts. Now, some of these things is old because when you go on Otis and look somebody up, it bring up your whole past. Like, since you entered the MDOC prison system, it bring up everything, right? So what he's actually in here for is dealing with a minor that was under the age of 12, right? And some other charges that was dealing with that. And it was 5 counts. The rest of that stuff was old, but it still was heinous acts and, sex crimes, right? So I'm like, what? He said, dude, he touched either a 12-year-old or somebody younger than that. I said, get the fuck out of here, man. He was like, yeah, man, I'm about to tell everybody. This is my homie saying, right? He like, I'm about to finna tell everybody in the hood what Blockhead is in there for. I'm like, all right, man, good looking out. He was like, so you seen him? I said, man, listen, he in the cell with me, man. He was like, what? He was like, I thought you supposed to be like on 4A, 4 week. I said, yeah, I thought so too, but they got me up here. He was like, oh man, that shit crazy. So y'all in the cell together? I said, yeah, man. He was like, all right, man. Well, shit. Well, hey, I'm about to put that food on blast. I said, all right, man, I'll holler. Like, so I hang up the phone. So I'm sitting at the table, right? And I'm contemplating, like, how I'm going to approach this dude. Because I know the homie ain't lied to me. I know that, right? So I'm sitting there, and now I know what y'all thinking. Y'all like, well, Donta, you an ex-convict. You supposed to go in there and whoop him out and make him get out the cell. Wait a minute, y'all. This is not prison. I'm not no convict at this time. I'm what you would call a jailbird. A dude that just keep getting locked up for stupid shit, right? In and out every other month. So it never go. I ain't went to prison yet, right? I was just a jailbird, and that's just what it was, right? So I wasn't, programmed the way I programmed later in lockup, right? So me being violent towards him wasn't even on the table. So I'm sitting here thinking like, dang, Blockhead really did this, right? So I'm like, man, I gotta go holler at this dude, right? So I go in the cell, right? Why this dude is on his knees praying. So, and listen, y'all. Listen, I know y'all probably wondering why I'm laughing. It's just, I don't know, man. It ain't nothing wrong with him praying, okay? But the way of what I knew about him, and for him to be praying right now, it just tickled me. But anyway, so I'm standing there. I said, OG, you good? And then he was like, hey, man. Then he got up. He was like, yeah, man. I man, I really don't want to go back to prison, man. I don't. I was like, hey, so where'd you get locked up at? Like, where they lock you up at? And he was like, man, you in the city. I said, oh, okay. I said, OG, man, keep it real with me, man. This me, man. This little old Donta, man. What you really in here for? He looked at me. He was like, man, F it, man. Look, I was drinking and I gave this chick something to drink and she accused me of violating her. That's it. I said, how old was she? He was like, damn, man, I don't know. I said, OG, look, man, how old was the girl? He was like, man, I don't know, man. They said she was like 12 or 13 or something. He said, I don't know. I said, listen, OG, I just got off the phone with the homies from the hood, and I had them look you up, man. He was like, well, why you do that for? Why you get in my business like that? I said, OG, man, don't get mad at me, man. Get mad at yourself, man. Like what happened, man? Like, what's up? Like, you like that for real? He was like, man, no, man, you know how it is in the hood, man. So we don't look for IDs. We don't ask for IDs. So I was over there drinking, and she came over, and I gave her a little sip, and shit, we did what we did. I mean, shit, it ain't like I'm a monster or nothing. I said, OG, man, come on, man. He was like, nah, man. No, I'm tired of people trying to judge me and shit like that, man. I'm tired of niggas trying to, you know, niggas, all these niggas be doing that in the hood. I mean, I'm the only one that got caught up. I was like, what you mean everybody do that in the hood? He was like, everybody do that, man, and they tripping on me. Like I'm a monster or something. I said, OG, man, listen. That girl was 12, 13 years old. He said, man, I ain't know that. I didn't want, like I said, I wasn't checking for no damn ID. She wanted some drink. I gave her some drink. And shit, we did what we did. Like, I mean, I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping off that. No, I ain't tripping off that. I said, all right, man. All right. So I leave out the cell, y'all. And the guards, they come through, right? They come through and they tell everybody, like, everybody go to your cells, right? So we like, all right, whatever, man. Cause these guards always tripping. They always sending us to our cells, right? So I get in the cell and OG sitting on the bed, right? He was like, hey, who told you, you know, what I did to get in here? I was like, man, that shit don't even matter, man. He was like, no, man, it do matter, man, because I don't like how people be sitting up there getting in my business, man. That shit ain't cool. That ain't cool, man. I don't like people getting in my business, man. Who told you that? I said, hey, man, I'm not telling you who told me. He was like, no, man, tell me who told me, man, so I can get at him. I said, how you gonna get at somebody you locked up in here? He was like, man, I'm just saying, man, I don't like people getting in my business. I said, well, you shouldn't have did what you did. He was like, man, hey, I don't think this shit going. Hey, pop sale, blah, 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 blah. This the guards, right? So they open our door and they come in. They say his name, like, come on, let's go, right? So I guess the prison bus done pulled up just in time, whatever, and he about to roll out. So he grabbed all this stuff or whatever. He was like, all right, man, I'll holler, man. And he leave out. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, damn, man. Damn. Blockhead really did that because he didn't deny it. He didn't deny it at all. But what I was really thinking about when he said everybody be doing it in the hood. Everybody be doing it. He just got caught. And now that I think about it, when I was like in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in middle school, there was guys coming up to the school picking up like the 7th and 8th grade girls the drug dealer dudes. And this wasn't their little cousins. This wasn't their niece. This wasn't their little sisters. No, they was like really with them. So yeah, now I see when R. Kelly got locked up, a lot of dudes in the hood was quiet. Now I see why. Hey y'all, check this out. If y'all haven't signed up for my Patreon is pinned at the top of the comment section, all right? Make sure y'all subscribe to my Patreon. Why? Because that's why I got all my exclusive prison stories over there. The ones that I can't put on this channel, it's over there. My Bible stories over there. My supernatural stories over there. Yeah, my new podcast is over there too. And I upload over there 3, 4, 5 times a day over there. Okay, so y'all make sure y'all sign up for my Patreon. Also, I got my new skits channel where I do short films. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. I'm going to have that link pinned at the top of the comment section and in the description too. And for the people that like to see me playing a video game, that channel is pinned at the top of the comment section and in the description too. All right. With that, y'all, this is your big partner, Donta, over and out.